Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I want to show you what I bought when I was out in Amish country. It's funny because, you think of Amish, you think of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we drove through Lancaster, I think twice, but most of our stay was actually outside of Lancaster, and they're all surrounding, towns, Intercourse and Strasburg and all these other little places. I think Bird in Hand was another one. So yeah, I mean, just enjoying the whole Amish country. It was really nice just seeing the Amish themselves. It's kind of the focal point of why you go down there, interacting just a little bit when you can, when they're out in public, obviously, but really just enjoying the farmland, the drives, driving the backcountry. We did so much stuff. It was really so much fun. The only thing I did not get a chance to do, I just could not find time for it, was I wanted to go to like a dairy farm and try some raw milk. So that'll be something next time I go that way. But anyway, I picked up some cool stuff along the way. I try not to, I get touristy sometimes, at least I have in the past. And the older I get, the less junk I just want sitting around, even though I think it's cool. So I did, have a lot of self-control when looking at stuff to buy. But I did buy stuff, of course. Now, the most expensive thing I bought, I have off camera. I'm going to do a separate video on that because I'm starting a new hobby. Yes, I bought something that I was interested in for probably 2 or 3 years. I just never really pursued it. And I saw one at an antique place and I bought it, and now I want to start collecting them because I think they're really cool. So you'll have to see that in another video. But for today, we're just going to show you everything. Obviously, it's here on the table. So a couple shirts. Went to Shady Maple, which is the world's largest buffet, which I did do a separate video on, you'll see. So I just got a t-shirt from them. Nothing too crazy, just like the color combo. Also the Strasburg Railroad, which we drove on, which was super cool. And we had a classy first class trail car, I guess you'd call it, and got a couple drinks. There was a bar in there. Just had a really, really good time. So I got a t-shirt from that. Also got some bells. The Amish make really, really nice bells. This is for Christmas. Just put this on a door. You can hang this pretty much anywhere. Obviously, it kind of sounds like when you enter a convenience store and they have these on the open door. So like someone walks in and goes, they let the owner know or the worker know that there's people in there. But it's just really nice quality. Very thick, stiff bells. They sound good. They have a good pitch in them. You know what I mean? The little brass bolts inside. Genuine leather. It's just attention to detail. But believe it or not, this was super cheap. This was like 11 bucks because it's a short little run. But I just really like stuff like this. And like I said, particularly around Christmas time, I always put this on the door. So it's just, I don't know. It makes it extra cool, extra fun around the holidays. So seeing this, I was excited to grab that. Then of course, homemade goods. We'll get to that in a minute here. I love Beet pickled eggs, right? So they're pickled eggs, which, some people have, which use vinegar, but specifically with the beet chunks and the beet juice, that's what turns them red. But it gives it a really good earthy flavor to me anyway. Now, this is not something that's like rare or anything. You can get this at most grocery stores, but this was $8.99 for a 32-ounce jar or a quart jar. This same thing would be, I don't know, 20 bucks by me. They're pretty much $1 a piece if you go to the grocery store, at least locally, and you buy the beet eggs, beet pickled eggs, whatever. They come in small containers. There's like 4 of them for $5 or something. They're sometimes over $1. So I just got this just because it was a deal. Right? I'm sure it's going to taste just the same as anywhere else in the world. It's not like it's special because the Amish made or anything like that, but I still thought it was really cool. Also, even though this is probably 2 days old now, a little oatmeal pie. Now, I'm not, as far as cookies go, I love snickerdoodle and chocolate chip and double chocolate. I mean, you name it. I like cookies, peanut butter cookies. They're all great. But this reminded me of, like, in school, what is it, Little Debbie's makes the oatmeal pies. It's such a processed snack, but it has so much nostalgia. Because I remember specifically, like, in middle school, if you don't really like lunch or whatever, it's just everyone always looked forward to the oatmeal pies. And they were so good. So I saw, a homemade version of it for $1. I just thought, yeah, I'll try that out. So, maybe later today after dinner or something, I'll split it with Christina. I just want to see what it's like. But it just, again, nostalgia. It reminded me of that from school. Dried fruit. I love all dried fruit. But dried pineapple I have not had in years. Literally years. All right, this bag, this chunk, doesn't look like that much. But when you eat these, I mean, for me anyway, you have like 4 or 5 pieces. It's a nice little treat. And that's it. You don't just sit and eat a whole bag. So this will last a while, which is cool. All right, had to get me some hot sauce. Didn't see a whole lot of hot sauce, but I've had these small Melindas before. I've never had this black truffle, so super excited to try that. The other ones were a little lame. There was a lot of like the Lucky brand hot sauce, which is not bad. Just the thing is, like, where I went and I saw hot sauce, I actually saw a bunch of stuff that I've tried before. There's plenty of hot sauce variety. But remember, I went through a kick for a couple of years where I was just trying hot sauces every week. So I've tried a lot of them, you know, and it's just, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but there's not a whole lot out there I haven't had, at least on like some of the mass produced stuff. But this one I just haven't had. So I really have to say, as far as hot sauces go, the truff sauce, specifically the white one, is my favorite. But the regular truff sauce is up there. You have to obviously like the flavor of truffle, but if you do, I mean, it's the most well-rounded hot sauce there is. I mean, I absolutely love it on everything. So we'll see how this one, you know, compares to that. But got a little hot sauce, the pickles, country, or what is it? Kitchen Kettle Village. So this is like a whole little shopping center and stuff. It was really, really fun. My parents go to Lancaster occasionally, or in that area anyway. They go to see shows. Like they went and they saw Kevin James do a comedy show. They saw a bunch of different people. They saw, like, you know, some tribute bands, for I think Led Zeppelin tribute band and some other ones before. So they'll travel there, you know, every now and again, once a year or twice a year even sometimes. And they always go to the Kitchen Kettle Village. So there's a bunch of different little shops and stuff. There's a guy there, single man band, you know, playing a violin, and, you know, he's got the little whatever it is with the box he's using for the bass, and it's just really cool. It was a fun time. But they have a whole, you know, pickled section in the back. All the Amish women are just cooking and pickling all this different stuff, and, you know, they give out samples of everything. This is the sweet fire pickle chips. These things were delicious, like ridiculously delicious. I happen to like sweet heat. I love that combo, and these are perfect, absolutely perfect as far as pickles go, for my taste anyway. Then we got some wine. Went to a little winery. Well, it was basically a bar, but it's from a local winery, and we did a wine tasting with my mom. My mom loves different types of wines and stuff, so me and Christine and her went in there and tasted a bunch of things. And they didn't happen to have, like, as far as wine goes, I mean, I definitely prefer, you know, beer or even some cocktails over wine, but I do like and appreciate wine. I would love to do, you know, an actual vineyard tour or something like that in the future. But I happen to like a semi-sweet or sweet wine. Like a semi-sweet red is probably my favorite of all the styles of wine, you know what I mean? And so this place had a couple different reds and really interesting combos and stuff, but none of them were really even semi-sweet. They're all, you know, pretty dry. So I ended up getting this because, you know, I figured it'd be nicer for me and my wife. She doesn't like, you know, she doesn't really like wine at all, but, you know, dry wine is even less desirable for both of us. So Cellar 1599 is a blush from 2023. There's only 385 cases of this ever produced. This is from Waltz Vineyards, all right, in Manheim, Pennsylvania. But yeah, you know, just doing the tasting and stuff. It was good. I liked it. I thought it was really good. My mom loved it. I ended up buying her bottle, and I got a bottle here. And it's interesting because I didn't know that the blush wines you can age. And also something I learned too is I thought like rosés, like the pink color wines, were a combination of red and white grapes, but that's not necessarily the case. So it was cool to do this because I learned a lot of stuff about wine. And one of the things I was learning was that, you know, you can use just red grapes or purple grapes, and they just don't soak them as long. You know, the skins are removed fairly quickly so that you don't get the full red color. You just get a rose type color. So just fascinating stuff. So anyway, grab some wine. And my wife grabbed this. She was quite impressed that all the bottles had this little stopper, which is just awesome. This is, let's see, corker.org, or excuse me, winecorker.org. What is this thing called? Made in the USA. That's always a bonus. Patent. I don't know. This has an H on it. But yeah, this is just the perfect, you know, cork for resealing a bottle. All right, so you can, you know, pop the top. It's got a pour spout, so it pours really nicely, but it keeps the air from going in there. So, like, I'm not going to, you know, necessarily open a bottle of wine. I do have a couple different bottles. I made a previous video talking about saving them for the apocalypse, and some people were talking about how, you know, certain wines just, they don't get better with age, so, you know, you just kind of want to drink them. And so I think I will. I think I'll do just that. I'll focus on maybe hard alcohol, you know, vodka and whiskey and stuff, you know, cheaper stuff to save for the apocalypse and just enjoy the wine that I've been buying. But, like, I'm not going to drink a whole bottle by myself. You know, my wife's not, she might have a glass or two, whatever, but, you know, so I'm going to want to be able to put it in the fridge and not have it, you know, start tasting funky and stuff. So this is perfect. Thought that was nice. So, on to the stuff you guys probably care about. We got some coins here, and we got a knife. So, I'm not sure the order of, you know, videos how I'm going to post these, but if you already saw it, oh, I might post this on the end anyway. But I visited Country Knives, which was my mecca as a child. I was like 13, 14-ish when I went to Lancaster and did the whole Amish thing, and we were driving down the road. And I don't even know where we were going, but we saw the sign. I'm like, oh my God, there's knives. I have to stop. It was the coolest collection ever. It was awesome. So 20-something years later, I go back with my wife. And believe it or not, of all the stuff in the store, like I loved everything. But you have to remember, you know, I deal with lots and lots and lots of knives. So as much as I would have loved to buy a really cool $200 or $300 knife when I was there, it just didn't make sense to me. You know, as my life progresses, as much as I love knives, it's different for me. It really is different than the average person, because I feel so blessed. I've been exposed to thousands and thousands and thousands of knives. And when I say like I can literally get any knife I want, that's true. I mean, there may be, let's say, I don't know, a handful out there where there's like 10 made and the 10 people don't want to sell them. Okay, obviously I can't get those. But pretty much any knife I want, I can get. And it just has to do with what I'm willing to sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? If I want a $1,500 custom knife, I can get that, but I have to sell a bunch of stuff to do that. Now, obviously that could be said for anyone, but what I'm talking about really is trading. You know, if I wanted to try a certain knife, I can really focus on trying to find it, and then whoever has it, I can work out some kind of deal with them to obtain that knife. So it's different. When I was, 13, 14 years old, if I wanted a $150 knife, that wasn't just an easy thing to just make happen. You know, I was trading knives back then, but I had cheaper knives. You know, I didn't have access to what I have now. So it's different. So like these days, I'm not drooling over the $800 knives. I'm drooling over the unique knives, the cool knives, the different types of designs, the innovation. You know, some of the old school stuff for nostalgia. That's the stuff that gets my juices flowing, you know. But after looking throughout the store, and I did find a couple that were cool like that, but I just didn't want to spend the money. You know, this is the tail end of the vacation. I already spent a lot, on vacation and stuff. So I ended up seeing these. Me and Christina both love these. These are the folding paring knives from Victorinox. I thought this was really cool. So I literally bought this. Christina got one in red, plain edge, because they have plain edge combo. They had red, black, and I think they had in combo edge a yellow and maybe a green or something. But this is going to be my steak knife when I go out to dinner. And you might think that's nerdy. Oh well, I've done this with fixed blades. I had a steak knife, a beautiful, what was it, Black Horse maybe? I think it was Black Horse, or Battle Horse. That's what it was. I think it was a Battle Horse knife. And someone absolutely fell in love with that, and I ended up selling that knife. And so now I don't have a steak knife, right, to go out to eat. So I thought this would be absolutely perfect. Super lightweight. Does have the liner lock. It's a reverse liner because it's Victorinox, so it pushes up instead of down. Plain edge. The round tip is perfect. I can use this, to butter bread or whatever, or spread things. And it's ridiculously razor sharp, but it folds. Right? How cool is that? This is like $30. And yeah, that's gonna be, if I know I'm going out to dinner at some restaurant or something, I'll EDC that, and I will very much use that. So that's the knife I picked from Country Knives. And last up here we have some coins. So I have 2 Morgan dollars, and I have 2 Washington quarters, right? So I make these kind of special, and the reason I got these is because these are 4 examples of magic coins or trick coins. So this is a 1932 Washington quarter, right? But, let me give this a little flip here. Heads, right? But it's also heads, heads. Double-sided coins. So these were super popular for, gambling and magic tricks and stuff like that. And even today, people still use coins like these for magic tricks. But I just thought they're cool. It's a piece of coin history. I haven't stumbled across a trick coin or magic coin. So when I saw these at the shop, I decided to get them. They were very reasonably priced. So this one has 2 heads. This is a Washington quarter with 2 tails. All right. Now what's interesting too is that the Washington, the 2 heads, is a normal thickness for a quarter. The tails are super thin. All right. See the difference there? So yeah, I thought that was fascinating. So this one's maybe not as convincing. This was definitely convincing. But then same with the Morgans. All right. So heads and tails, but still heads and tails. All right. So you can say, heads and tails, whatever. You swap them and flip them, but they're still, it's what it is. 2 tails, 2 heads. I just thought that was neat. That's all. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I got from my my trip, minus again the thing that's off camera, which I'm going to make another video on in just a minute. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know if you guys ever, you know, traveled down and checked out the Amish country, you know, excuse me, Lancaster County and all these different places. It's just really, really neat. Like, you know, got all the homemade desserts and stuff. I can't even tell you how full I am. Went to the world's largest buffet, which was definitely some pressure to try some different things. I, you know, tried a lot of the local foods and historical foods. It was really good. Honestly, the whole thing, the whole experience is great, but I'm definitely on a diet. There was no shortage of food. I think we were there, let's see, every dinner was a buffet for 3 days. Smorgasbord, right? So, I mean, the first one was actually, we stopped at CC's Pizza, which I'd never been to a CC's Pizza, and that happened to be also a pizza buffet. And the pizza was okay, but to be honest, their breadsticks were like to die for. The breadstick bread was like, I don't know, it was thick, but it was airy, crispy, greasy. It reminded me of like old school Pizza Hut deep dish or something. It was just so friggin' good. And then they had dessert Cinnabons. The Cinnabons were better than like Cinnabon, literally. It was just the perfect breadstick, the best one I've ever had in my life. The perfect Cinnabon, the best one ever in my life. Pizza, you know, it was fine. But that was the focus there. And they had actually a really nice salad bar. So hooked up the salad there too. And then the last night on the way home, it was kind of a, you know, spur of the moment thing. We went to a different smorgasbord. There was a little bit, it's cool, it looked like a classy banquet hall, but it was weird because it almost looked like a catered party or something. Like they had a fire previously and they're rebuilding, so like we're in a separate dining room. So you go into this big dining room and it just looks like catered food. It doesn't look like it's a buffet. But it was delicious. It was great. So I'm done eating for probably like a week. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome day. And I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video.